Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we have another positive news piece regarding Tesla stock. And in this one specifically, this is all about a price target upgrade and some discussion around Tesla stock possibly hitting $1,200 according to a 5-year price target. Well, a little less than 5 years, I guess you could say, since this is by the time of 2025 and we are nearing the end of 2020. So with this video, this is all about that news piece and some of the explanation and justification for their reasoning for why they actually changed their price target. They changed it from a hold to buy, and that includes a specific upgrade to a number besides the $1,200 number, but they also discussed the $1,200 number as well. So we'll get into that in just a second. But of course, as always, if you do appreciate the Tesla videos, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and check out the share price for today before we get into this news piece. But as you can see, we have Tesla stock currently at a share price of $427.69. I kind of like that number, gotta admit. If only it was at $7 less today. But as you can see, for the normal market hours, we got a plus 2.73% gain. That is plus $11.32 added on to the share price. And then in the after hours currently, we have another gain at plus 0.56%, which is plus $2.39. So we're just a little off from the aftermarket hours close, and it's currently like 7:30 right now. It closes at 8 p.m. for me. So we're just a little off from that. But so far in the after hours, we have seen a pretty significant movement. This is more than just your typical minus or plus 0.10 to 0.20% for after hours. So I am wondering if we'll see a positive day for Tesla stock tomorrow. Of course, we'll never know until it actually happens, but it's still nice to see at least in the green significantly for after hours so far, considering that we don't usually see a notable movement in after hours for a lot of stocks. So with all of this being said, let's go directly to the source on a new news piece regarding a price target upgrade for Tesla stock, which I think this one is pretty interesting because we haven't really seen any numbers similar to ARK Invest or even their time frame. So it's nice to see a bull case a little bit more similar to ARK Invest in terms of a price target, which is something that we don't see very often. That's one of the major reasons that ARK stands out, because they're very bold on this claim. And honestly, anything that comes after ARK Invest, at that point, I'm just going to look at ARK Invest as, you know, the GOATs, the ones that solidified a price target that was bold like that, because nobody else had done it before, and ARK Invest was the first step to make it. And with this news piece, they aren't as bullish as ARK Invest, but it's still interesting to see them pay attention to the details that a lot of investors, especially retail investors, have picked up on early on. So anyways, let's get right into this news piece, and then we'll expand on it a little bit further. So as you can see, this is an article by Barron's and author Al Root. So of course, as always, we greatly appreciate this information. And the article is titled, "A Tesla Bull Makes a Bold Call. The Stock Can Hit $1,200. And it starts out by stating, New Street Research Technology analyst and longtime Tesla bull Pierre Ferragu upgraded shares of the electric vehicle pioneer Wednesday evening. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this last name correctly, so I'm just going to try my best here. But as it states, his rating goes to the equivalent of buy from hold, and his price target goes to a street high of $578 a share, up from $400. And this article continues to add some really important context that I think is applicable to this scenario, specifically regarding the analyst known as Pierre Ferragu. So it says Ferragu, who also covers tech stocks including Intel, Apple, and Uber, launched coverage of Tesla in May of 2018, and his price target back then was $106 a share, while Tesla stock was still at less than $60 per share at that point in time. The average analyst price target was about $63 a share. So this is really important in terms of context, in the sense that it gives us some perspective on the analyst himself. Someone that was not only ahead of the crowd on Tesla stock, but was also, in terms of the average analyst, was giving a much more bullish price target on Tesla compared to the average, which was $63 per share, in comparison to Pierre's, which was at $106 a share. And keep in mind that that was when Tesla stock was at less than $60 per share. So at that moment in time, that would have been considered maybe a wildly bold claim on Tesla stock, when the average analyst is saying that it's worth just a little over $3 than what it's currently worth. So for him to step out and say that, especially at that point in time when there was a lot of uncertainty around Tesla and the future of the company, then I think that's really important to take into consideration for context context at this current moment, because this is someone with a track record of being bullish on Tesla when it wasn't as popular as it is right now. So I think that's really important context to take note of. And just adding to this context, it states that a quote from Ferragu stated, "Tesla's forced march toward electrification is reaching a tipping point. Cost parity is around the corner, barriers to adoption are pushed away, drivers are enthusiastic, and the industry is betting all in on electric." And so I actually really like this quote right here because it mentions something that I've mentioned in one of my previous videos, in which it states Tesla's forced march toward electrification is reaching a tipping point. And I actually referenced Tipping Point as a book I read in my public health class. It was my capstone class, my major class in my final year of college. And in that class, we read a book called Tipping Point, and it was not only related to public health, but products as well, in which it talked about mass adoption, such as things with fashion or other products. And we talked about people called mavens, which were people that were knowledgeable about a specific topic that shared information about that topic to other people within their social circle. And so I've even made the comparison of how, like, Tesla investors like myself and many of you all out there, and Tesla owners as well, are considered what you would call a maven, someone that is knowledgeable about the company and a lot of the information, in which they can spread the use of those products to their friends and family. And that's something that we commonly see with Tesla owners and Tesla stock owners as well. So just reading this quote right here by this analyst is really interesting, and it shows that they have a lot of interesting insight on Tesla stock, because they're saying the same things even 2 years ago that I've been referencing in my recent videos. So I really like to see some similar mindsets pairing here with referencing the tipping point. And so to add more context, it states Ferragu went to a hold rating in 2020 after the stock ran up. And just addressing this alone, I can certainly understand this, especially if you were someone that was bullish on Tesla before everyone else was. I can understand some of these firms and investors that invested in Tesla stock way before it got super popular. I can certainly understand that logic and reasoning. I know that Gerber Kawasaki has even told some people that are like 100% on Tesla and own millions of dollars in Tesla stock to actually cash out a little bit. Now, of course, I would have to disagree with that. I do not think selling Tesla stock at this point in time is a very smart financial move, and that's just because I see so much potential out of this stock in the future. A lot of people, of course, want to take some profits and stuff like that. I understand the temptation, but in terms of just missing out on all of these future gains, I don't think it's worth it. And I understand how it can be tempting and why there's that need for reevaluation with some of these analysts, like with this scenario as well. However, as we get farther into this article, the analyst continues to talk about it a little bit more, in which they have now changed it from a hold to a buy rating, because they started to do a little bit more research on this and analyze every aspect of this company and value it at more than just a car company. So I think that's really important to take into consideration. But like I said, I think selling Tesla stock is kind of similar to like selling Amazon stock back when it was $100, like in 2010. Yes, people might have made some really crazy gains up until that point, but in terms of the long-term perspective, I think just holding on to it is a better idea. Kind of similar to Apple currently hitting all-time highs as well. I believe I saw like a recent article where Apple stock would be worth like $20-some thousand if it wasn't for the stock split, and it's still hitting all-time highs way after its initial, revolutionary moment reveal of the iPhone. And so it continues by stating, today Ferragu wrote, "We have done a ton of work on Tesla in recent weeks to the point that we felt the need to reinitiate on the name. He looked at everything from technology, competition, costs, margins, and energy storage." So as I said, this analyst is definitely evaluating all aspects of Tesla now, including more than just their vehicle business. So with that energy storage aspect especially, and then I do think paying a lot of attention to the tech, the competition, which pretty much non-existent, as he'll continue to kind of emphasize. And then the costs and margins are important as well, because Tesla is really efficient in terms of saving costs and encouraging that one big optimization machine that they have. So as it states, he doesn't see credible new competition on the horizon, which will help Tesla maintain growth and leading profit margins. Ferragu sees Tesla generating more than $100 billion in sales and $16 in earnings per share by 2026. And then a quote states, "Amazon is traded in the 50 to 100 times earnings range for over a decade, and we expect Tesla to follow suit." That is honestly really nothing new here. And then it states, at the midpoint of that range, with that level of earnings, Tesla could trade for $1,200 a share by the end of 2025. And then it states, at this price, the stock would still deliver 20% average annual return. And so just to add a little bit more context, it says, not everyone agrees. With the upgrade, now 8 out of 37 analysts rate shares a buy. So I think that last paragraph where it talks about the ratio of analysts that are saying Tesla stock is a buy, I think that provides some proper context regarding the general market sentiment towards Tesla stock. However, I think retail investors get it and are much more bullish on Tesla stock than like your analysts and also just your typical institutional investors and media reporters and stuff like that. I truly think this is a scenario where retail investors have figured it out much earlier than Wall Street, and that's because there's really not that much of a barrier of information with investing nowadays. You get pretty much all the information you need. We have a lot of Tesla fans at this moment with integrity providing information that is not incredibly biased against Tesla, just giving us the pure information that we can evaluate for ourselves. So now I just don't see a huge information gap between institutional investors and retail investors like we would have possibly seen maybe 10 to 15 years ago. So there's a big difference in who's getting their information now, in which it's pretty much universal. If you want information about a company, you can just load up Google, get on the forums, get into different communities, and you can get that information pretty easily. It may take some time and effort to get to what you're actually looking for, but pretty much if you're looking for it, you can find it. And so I have to say that is one good thing about the internet nowadays, where retail investors kind of are on a level playing field as institutional investors. So I would say that's one of the reasons why I would say retail investors are kind of ahead of the game on Tesla in comparison to a lot of the people on Wall Street. But as it says, according to Pierre Ferragu, he stated that Tesla stock could hit $1,200 per share by the time of the end of 2025. So around a 5-year price target. That's a little bit different from ARK Invest 4-year price target by the time of 2024. So just in comparison, I'll show you what the ARK Invest price target looks like in comparison. So as you can see, this is the predicted scenario by ARK, with the expected value basically being the base case for Tesla, and it is a 2024 price target. Keep in mind it says $7,000, but these are pre-split values, meaning that what you see right now would be the price target for Tesla stock if it had never split, since this was created, I think, like way back in January. So if you want to find out the actual price target values, just simply divide these numbers by 5. So if we divide 7,000 by 5, that equals a $1,400 price target by the time of 2024. So not only is ARK Invest price target a little bit more bullish in terms of the actual value, 1,400 compared to 1,200 from Pierre, but it's also a shorter price target as well, in which it's only 4 years compared to 5 years with Pierre. So there's a big difference in terms of this being a year early, and also $200 more added onto the share price. And I'm honestly more on the ARK Invest end rather than this most recent one that we covered, just because I think there's a lot of opportunity, not only in the energy business, but also the vehicle business as well. Not only with them just producing possibly millions and millions of cars every year in the future, but also as autonomy becomes more relevant and as Tesla begins to master this technology and possibly become the first to perfect it, or at least perfect it enough for it to be safe to drive on the road and be much safer than a manual human driver. So anyways, I just wanted to share this quick little news video with you all just because I thought it was relevant, and it also shows this person's track record on Tesla as well, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's nice to see some analysts that were ahead of the time even in the past now providing perspective in this current moment, because when someone has credibility, it's definitely important to pay attention to what they have to say at this moment in time. So I just thought that was interesting. I wanted to share it with you all, so please make sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and also feel free to check out Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link, you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, I think you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600, and to get that, all you have to do is sign up with my referral link and deposit $100 into your account. And keep in mind, you can take that $100 right back out of your account after you get your free stocks, so it's basically just nice passive income with minimal effort. Just wanted to let you all know about that, but I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.